Welcome to Tuesday Tea, the space where we get real, get honest, and talk about the things that actually matter. I'm your host, Alicia Bakker-Mudrock, therapist, Pilates teacher, coach, and author of Leading Lady Energy.
And I'm Melissa Levine, educator, coach, and your co-host for the conversations that don't shy away from the messy, the meaningful, and everything in between.
Each week, we sit down with incredible humans, leaders, creatives, parents, dreamers, people who've lived, struggled, succeeded, and figured things out the hard way.
We share stories, ask real questions, and highlight the badass people out there doing the work.
So grab your tea
Or your other favorite beverage.
and let's dive in. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. We're happy to be back. One of our last episodes with a guest before we take our pause. But we're so excited to have Ashleigh here as one of our last interviewees. She is in Cape, where I live, and she's opening up a brand new hot Pilates studio that I can't wait to hear more about and go visit once it's open. But I wanted her to pop on. I was just so excited when she offered as just this whole theme of women doing badass things and starting businesses and branching out and doing the hard stuff. And so I'm excited for her to kind of take over and introduce herself even more fully, but also just share with you a bit about her journey. And then Melissa and I will, obviously lots of questions and thoughts as we go. But welcome, Ashleigh. And we're so, so excited to have you here.
I'm so excited to be here, guys. Thank you so much for having me. Okay, I would love to kind of give a little brief how I got here type of vibes. I am opening, obviously, Drip Pilates. It's in the Cape. How did I get here, though? Gotta take it back because I'm kind of a nomad. Like, I never really stay in one place too long. Like, being in the Cape is the longest I've ever been anywhere, and I've been here for 3 years now. So my background is in finance, business, have been doing that for the last 10 years, always been in the mortgage industry, have hopped around company to company, but have always been in finance.
Okay.
Now, how do we get to Pilates? Well, so when I moved to Cape, my background is in Legree, and I know that is a hot button topic, Pilates versus Legree. And I watched the podcast, Alicia. I know that you're really into that. So
More classical. But they're different men. They're different men who started different practices that are all friends.
So my background is in Legree. I went to Solidcore for years, like years and years did Solidcore. And then I moved here when COVID happened. My job went remote. My husband went remote. We were basically like, this is our one chance to move somewhere. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. So we bought our house online, never visited ever. And we were just like, honestly, F it. We're going to move. And we did. And we moved 2 weeks before Hurricane Ian.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then that happened. That was really crazy. Luckily, we had bought like a new build. So we had to fix our pool cage, but our house was fine. We were really, really lucky. And then maybe like a year after that, Fuego opened. And there was, obviously, there's not a lot of like Pilates studios around here. Like, this is not Miami. This is not even where I'm from in Detroit. Like, this market is
like
very
Fort Myers or Naples. It's like
literally,
nah.
It's so yeah, there's like nothing here, honestly. So when Fuego opened, me and my sister were stoked. We were like, this is actually what I do. Solidcore and Fuego are very similar.
Yeah.
So we were pumped. We loved going there. And then one day we were just like, I feel like the Cape needs like more. And like, we just were sitting in our car and we're like, we could do this. Like, we could do this different. We could fill the void that's missing. I feel like we're missing like a little bit of that Miami flavor,
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no the closest hot studio I think is Estero, maybe?
Yes. I want to say, I don't think there are any in like the northern Fort Myers area.
Yeah. So I was like, we're going to do an infrared studio. When I decided that we were doing the infrared studio, I had a location in 2 weeks. So like, I am like very much like fly by the seat of my pants type of person. Like, if I decide I'm going to do it,
we bought a house online.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. If we're doing it big. And that is what happened with Drip. So like I said, as soon as it happened, it was happening. And we were full steam ahead, had a place in 2 weeks. Did I know that it was going to take me this long to get here? And we can definitely dive into that a little because I think that, I mean, I know there's like some other studios in town. I know it did not take nearly as long for them to open as it did for me. And
Mhm,
I've learned a lot in this process,
mhm,
but the the basis of how I got here is really truly that I've always known that I would be able to, if I took the risk and it fails, I know that I will be able to pull myself out of it no matter what. Like if this studio fails, and it
we'll figure
ultimately
it
it
out.
could, right? I know that I will get a second or third job to pay my bills if I have to. Like
Mhm,
ultimately I'm just never afraid of the risk. I've never been afraid of the risk of the studio just
hmm,
because I know that that's who I am, is I could always pick myself back up.
mhm.
So as soon as we did it, I was doing it. The vibe is super fun, a little bit edgier. And yeah, I'm just really excited to be here. Really excited it's finally here. What do you got for me, Alicia?
Well, I think that it's such a unique strength to be a little fearless, and another word a lot of other folks who have that similar energy have used is like delusional, but I
No,
think you almost kind of
I
have
say
to
that
be.
about myself.
Yeah, I think you have to be a little bit those things if you're going to own your own
Mhm.
businesses. And I feel similarly. Mine was not as big of like a financial risk of like a space and all of that, but just like starting doing pop-ups and saying, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like now an event planner, meets a this, meets a that, like stuff I never learned how to do. I'm a therapist in my background. This isn't what I went to school for, but it's been so fun to figure out and learn. But you kind of have to just dive in and truly own that nothing matters. Things matter and also nothing matters, right? Like we can
Yeah.
always pivot. You can always figure something else out. But I think for me personally, and maybe, and I know Melissa's energy is similar, but I think, and what sounds like you too, I'd be more pissed off or regretful or sad later if I just hadn't like tried and done it and failed or
Totally.
succeeded or something in the middle than to just play it really safe all the
Mhm.
time instead.
100%. 100%. That is like, if, and I watched your podcast with Ellie too, when she said, if I saw someone else do it, I would have been pissed off.
Yeah.
Like, I relate to that because there is only a matter of time before someone else does it.
100%.
But if we are not the first, if you think of it and you're not the first person to get yourself out there, you're already set yourself behind.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So as soon as you have an idea and you can facilitate like it happening in real life,
Mhm.
especially at my, like I'm 31, if I know that I have enough time to undo it or
Yeah.
Mhm.
redo it
Yeah.
or whatever it is, that I know I can pivot. If I have to stay in corporate America for the rest of my life,
Yeah.
lots of
Yeah.
people do that, and I'll do that if I
Yeah.
have to, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's just a leap, and it's been like a passion project of mine, really, that it's just been fun to do. Like, I haven't felt in any of the jobs I've had in my adult life excited to do something. And
Mhm.
now I feel like it's actually exciting. Like
Mhm.
when I was even just doing the branding, like, and I had someone helping me with the branding, I was like, oh my God, this is so fun. Like picking the font, picking the color, like this business is very hard. Like there is a lot of not fun parts to it, but it actually is really rewarding to build something that you love,
Yeah.
Mm.
that you think other people will love too. And
Mhm.
that's been like the really fun part of doing it for me.
Yeah.
I saw this quote recently that said, if you're looking for reasons not to do it, then you should do it. If you're looking for
Mm.
reasons to do it, then you shouldn't do it. And I don't know why you guys, I just got chills, like even saying that out loud again, because I think so often we're like second guessing ourselves. And those are the moments we actually probably should be going for it, right? Rather than like, if you're trying to force something that's not, you know what I mean? Like we just need to be able to recognize those moments. And I think that kind of goes along with what you were saying, Ashley, of like just being fearless and like, I'm not going to look for reasons to talk myself out of something because there's always going to be a million what ifs or like, oh, this could fail. And
Totally.
that's going to be true in everything and from relationships to jobs to whatever. And at the end of the day, I think there's something to feeding your like fueling that energy and like positive energy and like I believe in that. And I know that makes me sound a little crazy, but I think sometimes we're like the ones that are like our own worst enemy because we're like feeding into like the unknown, but in a negative way rather than just like, okay, yeah, this could fail and it could be awful. And it could also be awesome. So like, why not go for it? Did you always have that energy that you said, like the fearless, like fuck it kind of just energy? Or is that something you've developed over time?
I think I've always had that, like a little bit of like, fuck it, you know?
I love
When I was telling you I went to school, I am from like a very small town in Michigan.
Hmm.
When I turned like 18, I knew I was going to do whatever it took to get out of this town, like at any cost. So I ended up going to Chicago, loved Chicago. Then I ended up going to Detroit. I had a really successful career in mortgages in Detroit and then relocated obviously here. And it's just like, I've just always felt like nothing is that serious in a way. And I know I don't want that to diminish anything that any of us are doing, but like I've always felt like if this job doesn't work out, I will get another one. If this studio doesn't work out, I will get another job. Like if
Mhm.
this doesn't happen, like everything is fixable for the most part.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I've just
Mhm.
always honestly felt like that. Even when I started the studio, I was in the middle of I had 1 year left on my master's for my CPA. And when I started the studio, it became way too much to do my regular job because I have a Monday through Friday 9 to 5. I have the studio and I was in a master's and I was like, fuck it. We'll do the masters later. Like, I can't do that. Like, we're really deep in on this masters,
Right.
but
Right.
we're just
All
gonna
for fun.
YOLO it right now.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm just like, I really do believe that. And with my sister's a little bit more the opposite. And she's like, but what if it doesn't work? But what if
Mhm.
this happens? And I'm like,
Wow.
what if it doesn't?
Right.
Yeah.
So
Right.
to a degree, I think I've always been a little bit like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've moved a lot too. I think in my adult life, this is my sixth city, fifth state after leaving California when I was 22. So that's a lot. And I think it also
Yeah.
channels, though, that energy of it's not that deep because you can rebuild, you can be somewhere else. And I've been like all over the country, like all the coasts and one in the middle. Like it's not just been like in the same little area. You have to like
Yeah.
figure it out and start over and do new things. And some stuff worked, some stuff didn't. Your friends will still be there. Maybe you have to call them instead of see them. So I think it does help when you've had a lot of that kind of experience to realize how yes, like how important and amazing life can be, but it's only that rich and deep when you put that much back into it. And when we're playing it safe or we're staying small or whatever else, we're missing a lot too. And it might feel more comfortable, but I don't know that it's always more rewarding. So I think the like moving and the trying and the just ability to be adaptable and explore different areas helps with some of the fearlessness because we have good proof that things can work. And even when it kind of doesn't, we've figured out how to pivot and make it make sense for us, what in financially, friendship wise, emotionally, whatever aspect. So I think that definitely helps because I think that's where stuff that people say, that's so hard. How'd you just do that? I'm like, well, I don't know. Why would you not just do it? But I do think my background of like being all over lends itself to that as well.
Yeah, because you're also forced in a way to be like that. It's
Hmm.
when you're transitioning in different locations all the time.
Totally.
Uh, yeah, no, it's definitely been a bit of an effort thing. But another thing, though, that really plays into the drip, like why drip is what it is that I don't know if you've experienced this, but of all the places I have lived, this has been the hardest place to meet people,
Hmm.
to make friends, build relationships. Like Southwest Florida has been the hardest place for me.
Interesting.
And so drip to a degree is also like me trying to find my own community and my
Hmm.
own group of people with similar ideas, like similar interest, age range, like
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we get a lot in our DMs like similar sentiment. So drip is, yeah, it's about the workout. It's about the Pilates of it all, the sculpt of it all. But it is also about trying to fill a void that I personally experienced in Southwest Florida of like, and we know there's people in this like demographic here. Like we know
Hmm.
that, but for
Hmm.
whatever reason, they're in hiding. I think I've been in hiding even,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's just giving a space where we can like come together, meet people, feel drip is really also like really focused. Like our main thing is almost like any single person fits in here.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's not, I have been to many studios, like, all over, and not all of them are super inviting. It
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
feel like
Like a
almost
club you're not a part of if
uncomfortable.
you're new.
Yeah, it's
If you're
like,
not fit a
it
certain
can be a
thing.
little, like,
Like
intimidating.
elitist. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, elitist, intimidating. It can be a little bit like, I don't really fit in here. They don't really want me to fit in here either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So a lot of drip is like, we are slightly chaotic, like the chaotic energy, like a little bit more relatable. Am trying to portray. The room isn't just a dark room because I think it's cool, even though I do, but the room is dark because I go to also studios where the lights are like, whoo, like,
It's like
a little
elementary
hospital-y.
school fluorescent
Yeah.
lighting vibe. You're
Yeah,
like,
it's a
you
little
can see
hospital-y,
everything.
so, it's not just dark because, like I said, I think it's cool. It's dark because I think it's more approachable for
Intimate.
people.
Mm-hmm.
If someone's in the back of a dark room, they're not feeling so, like, on the spot.
Yeah. The self-consciousness is
Yeah,
probably, and like you don't want someone to be self-conscious in a workout space. You like want them to like actually, yeah, like you're creating the world that you wanted.
want
Like
to be in. That is
that's
exactly
really,
it. As drip
that's
is
really
where I
cool.
want to work out, like, point blank. Like, we do cuss a little,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like,
It's edgy.
you will hear me on the mic drop an F-bomb, probably hear it there. But
You're
it's just,
good.
I think a lot of people are like that more than we think, and I think it just makes it a little, like, that's who I am. It's a little bit more approachable for me when an instructor is like that. Like, "F it, we're doing it live, guys,"
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
so there's a lot of details that have gone into drip that is thinking of the consumer. Like, consumerism is really interesting to me personally. What do I want if I'm going to the studio? And the studio is everything I would have wanted. So it's just really exciting to be able to see if anyone else wants it too.
They
Well,
will.
the thing I love though that is happening because now since Fuego started the trend of like there's so much opportunity here, different places have popped up, and I've gotten the pleasure to like been to a lot of them, interview a lot of the owners, and what I think is so beautiful is they all are your guys' own personalities and vision and style. And there's something for everyone, right? Like as a therapist, I am not the right therapist for every person out there, like,
Right.
which is great. But I too make sure I use the word fuck at least twice in any first session with anyone because I will. And if you want a therapist who doesn't cuss, like it's not me. And if you want a therapist who is a certain way, it's not going to be me. And that is different than maybe some people think for that profession. But like, there's certain things that I'll bring into my space or my vibe or my energy because it's my business and I get to make it and be with the people who fit
Yeah.
best with me. And like, I get to bring that to life in its own unique space, right?
Mhm.
Same with P3. I wanted pop up stuff. I wanted community. I think Louisville's been the hardest place to make friends because everyone there went to high school together. And if you didn't go to high school, like you're out. Like, what high school did you go to? I'm like, I'm so confused by this
Keep me out
question.
of there. Keep
Like
me
we're
out
adult
there.
people.
Yeah.
What high school? But I don't know.
Right.
Like Village Christian, that's in LA. They're like, I don't know who you are. I'm like, okay. But I think that it was a little tricky here. But I think I started that out the gate because I also wanted friends. I wanted to do something I wanted to do. I don't
Yeah.
want to be stuck in a space all the time. I need my studio to go to as like a student, but I wanted to bring collaborations and spaces and like have people meet each other and do fun things
Mhm.
and bring Pilates to unique areas to introduce it in a very fun way. And so I think that's what's so cool is all of these are so important and there's people for it all and even the same person for a lot of them maybe. But we get to bring ourselves to it. And it's so cool to see you light up talking about you bringing yourself to your business and your space. And there will be the people who are your people who are going to attract there because we need something like that, just like we need other things in our life
Mhm.
too, you know?
100%. Like, the Cape is growing with Pilates, there's
Mhm.
multiple studios. I can genuinely say every single studio is not even remotely similar,
Zero. Yeah.
which is there is going to be someone for Fuego. There's going to be someone for Rise. There's going to be someone for Drip. The
Mhm.
population here is actually like very large.
Mhm.
So, and maybe someone likes them all, you know what I mean? But I
Exactly.
think it's so cool. Like, if you love Fuego, I love that for you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? If Fuego is your place, I love
Yeah.
that. If Rise is your place, I love that. I am genuinely, genuinely happy for any woman who
Yeah.
goes into business or any woman who finds a place that they love. Like,
Yeah.
genuinely, it is never, ever, ever competitive for me. Like, I just am so happy that we're building something that everyone can experience because it is collective. In a way, it is collective because Drip is nothing like the other studios, but collectively, we are all building something like here.
Exactly.
And I think that's really cool.
Especially
Yeah.
as all female owners who are younger.
That's
You
really
guys are
cool.
in your late 20s and like early 30s, and that's inspiring, you know, like the incredible
Mhm.
powerhouse things that the women are doing here and the way the community is like showing up in different spaces too has been really, really fun to watch and get to like be a part of in small different ways. But I I am always in awe of I don't know at 31, I don't know what I was doing. It was like almost 10 years ago. I'm so old. You know, like, but I was doing stuff, but I don't know if I was that brave or that fearless yet or had that much vision and like knowledge of self. And so I just think it's cool how well you know yourself as well to know how to translate that into a space and say, like, that's what you're doing. Right. I don't know, Melissa, did you know yourself that well at 31 to like put it on a wall in a studio or in your branding or in your message or I don't like that's just such a huge thing not
Yeah.
everyone can do, you know?
Totally. And I think it's like important to surround yourself with people that are going to support you in those moves, right? Because I think, it's awesome, Ashley, that you have always had that like part to yourself. But I'm sure like there's been people along the way that have either fed that or like tried to stifle that. And so I think it's really important that obviously like everyone we interact with, we can't control like from a job or whatever, but your actual people that you choose to be around, your partners, your best friends, like, those people are the people that really need to like, you need them to like feel that creative or like that, brave part of yourself. Cause I think sometimes as women, we are kind of, I think, socialized to not take risk and to be risk adverse because that is just how we're taught that's like what being a woman is in a sense, right? Which is like actually not at all. And like everyone applauds men when they take risks all the time. Whether, so it's really interesting. And I think the more we can be involved with women and support women, the better it can be. And I mean, Alicia and I have talked a lot about how it's so disappointing when women are like not supportive of each other and like when there is that like competitive catty energy because it's like we have so much like to fight against. It can't be with each other that we're
Not
like,
each other.
you know what I
It's
mean?
the patriarchy to
100%.
take down.
That is like
Totally. It's
one of
like,
the things I always say. I'm like, if women would stop like being each other's own enemy for 2
totally.
seconds, we would be running the entire world by now, people. Like,
Totally. Like we're upholding the patriarchy as much as that men, if not more, because, it's like we are the ones that have to, sort of dismantle it just in our locus of control, and we have a lot of control and
100%.
agency when we support each other and kind of like lessen those norms or those like stigmas and just like say, fuck it. And we're going to do what we're going to do. And, and that
I
just,
could not agree more.
yeah,
And
makes
this
it better for everybody.
space is not super like it is hard in this space. This space is incredibly competitive. There is a
Mhm.
lot of egos in this space.
Yep.
Everyone is not super supportive of the other in this space. If you can find anyone who truly is supportive of each other in the community, keep them because it is rare. Like even in doing the studio and the studio is not even open. Like I have experienced that. It's
Yeah.
not even
Yeah.
open, you know? So
Yeah.
it is hard. Like if you can find, like I said, if we could just take a step back and like really think about like, does this help me or does this hurt me?
Mhm.
And I think that supporting each other in this particular space only helps us all, honestly.
Really.
Because if you just spreading the Pilates word, because it's not super big here, you know what I mean? Like it's
Mhm.
starting to be, but it's not super big here. And supporting each other is only going to make us all grow. And so I do hope that like as time goes on, we can experience more of that because
Yeah.
like I said, I mean, we are not even open. I have experienced the dark side of the Pilates world a little
Yeah.
bit, but and maybe that is because I don't know what it is, but I think that there is also like a big Alicia will probably like this topic, but the difference between modalities, I think, is a big conversation. And one thing about me is I never am going to sell something to somebody that is a lie. Like,
Mhm.
that is why we at Drip have 3 classes. We have a full sculpt class, we have a fusion class, and we have a classical class
Mhm.
because I don't want to sell sculpt and call it Pilates. Like, I don't want to be Drip Pilates and be a sculpt studio. And I think a lot of that does happen in the market a lot.
Unfortunately, it does.
And that's just like not my MO.
Uh-huh.
Because obviously sculpt is a little trendy, and I do personally lean towards more of a fusion or a sculpt class for me personally.
Huh?
I love them all, but like if I lean more towards a sculpt or fusion. And
Mhm.
so, but I know that that is like not cool, like to sell something and label it something else. And I think that is a big thing that's happening right now that I'm really trying to like
Amen.
avoid
Yeah.
is just trying to be fully transparent and being 100% honest in everything that we do.
Right.
So, yeah.
Which will get you a long way. And it's like, just be what you are. Sculpt is great. Sculpt is sculpt, though. Like, just be sculpt. Not you. Like, but just in general, I'm like, why does someone have to like hijack something out? Like, just be you and just do you. It's fine. You don't have to
Totally.
pretend
Yeah,
to
no,
be what you're not.
100%. 100%. I
That's my
do.
bugaboo with it. Like, I think they're all important workouts. I think they're all wonderful, but just like label your workout appropriately and call yourself what you are and then
Yeah.
provide that service. Like, if I go in for a manicure and then they, like wax me or something, I'd be like, this is not, I mean, that's really different. It was a bad analogy. But like just be what you are. Like it's not
100%.
that
And I
hard.
think the consumer appreciates that actually.
Yeah. And then
Totally.
and I think your schedule's wonderful. It's very clear who's doing what, what's happening. I think you have the space, like use it to the fullest. But yeah, I think transparency and deliverables that match what you're promising are always important in every line of work,
No,
right?
of
But,
course,
but
always
even in your
important.
workout, for sure.
100%. Always important. But yeah.
What's the thing you're looking forward to most? Maybe like minus just like the stress of waiting for the opening, but like what's the thing you're wanting to really capitalize or like sit in or enjoy or be present for in your opening weekend as it approaches?
I think just honestly seeing anyone I've like talked about this like amongst my friends or my family, but like the fact that one person wants to come to my studio is like humbling to
Oh,
me. Like the fact that even one person like is going to wants to pay their own money to come to my studio because they think it's cool. That is so cool to me. So like on opening day to see groups of people coming in together is going just feeling that I guess in the moment is really, really exciting for me. And it feels like all of the chaos that has happened the last 12 months because I've had this location since May of 2025 is maybe worth it because there's been a lot of times over the last 12 months that I've questioned that.
Yeah.
hmm.
We've had so many setbacks. Like, I can't even, if I even got into all of the setbacks, you'd be like, girl, you should have quit 6 months. But like, it has been crazy. And there's been so many times, like I said, that I was like, what are we doing?
Mm,
Like, we're so deep in on this. Like, how could this even happen? But just seeing like groups of people come in, be excited, like shop my little merch stand that I like created, like that's really fun. Hearing my playlists get played because we do a lot of curated playlists.
mhm.
Seeing people snap a picture in the mirror and tag us, like it's just little things that are I'm like really excited to see the reaction and get some feedback too.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's like one of the things I'm most looking forward to is to receive feedback about what could
Like
we
the
do.
translated.
Like I can do it how I want it as like to the end of time, but every single person's not gonna love it. Or maybe they're like the structure of the class, they think it could be different, or
Mhm.
the heat isn't hot enough, the heat's
Yeah,
too hot.
yeah, yeah.
Just little things like that I'm really excited to experience, just kind of take it all in. It's been a rush to the finish line and really chaotic, but we're here. The delusion has arrived and we're about to hit the finish line. So really excited, honestly.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Well, we're excited for you as well. I know it's been a labor of love to build, but I'm so thankful you have an opening date and it looks like you're already booking out classes and I'll definitely get over there. I will see how I do in the heat. I get like overheated in general,
You
and
need to come now because we're about to
okay.
put more heaters in. You need to come before the
Okay.
extra heaters
I'm
go
gonna come early. I don't know. Like I'll see. Maybe it's different, but I just know me and heat sometimes. But I'm like pumped to try it. I do love a good mat, anything. So I'm definitely gonna come see the space. But yeah, but like that's the point. There's something for everyone. So I love that.
100%.
What
100%.
last piece of wisdom or advice do you think you want to leave folks with? You've given us so much, but parting
I
words.
think honestly, it's like, what's the worst that could happen? Truly sit and sit with that. Like, sit with that question and ask yourself that. If there's anything that you're ever like on the fence about, like, what is the worst that could happen?
Mhm.
And I bet the worst is not that bad. So I would just really encourage anyone who's thinking of doing anything to ask themselves that. And then if it's not that bad, which I bet it's not, then really see about leaping into it.
Great
Amazing.
advice.
Brilliant. 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 I'll make sure to have all of your links, your Instagram, website, whatever else you want in the episode notes and in the newsletter. So folks, if you are in the Cape area, come check her studio out. Maybe next time
Yes.
Melissa comes visit, I'll
For
bring her
sure.
there.
I've
She's come once,
already
but it was pre all
clocking
the
that.
studio.
My Chicago
So
girl has to make it in here.
Yeah.
we'll
I will
take her
die in the
around.
heat, but it'll be okay. I'll survive. It'll
We're
be
gonna
fine.
it's gonna be good for us. We'll
What's
sweat
the
out all
worst
of
that
our
could happen?
we'll sweat
You
out
know?
all the drinks we've had the night before in the class. It'll be perfect.
We can do anything for 45 minutes, guys.
You
Totally.
can. No,
Yeah.
I agree.
No
Like,
one's tougher
it
than
is.
women, so I think we'll be okay.
100%.
Well, thank you so much, Ashleigh. We're so excited. I'm happy that we get to like spread your word even a little bit more here. Thanks for talking
Yes.
with us today, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks so much for having me,
Bye.
guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for hanging out with us on this episode of Tuesday Tea. We hope something here landed, encouraged you, or made you feel a little less alone.
If you enjoyed today's conversation, make sure to follow, rate, and share the podcast. It helps more people find these stories.
And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. It really supports the show.
For more ways to connect with us or learn about what we do, check out the links below.
And until the next cup, keep the tea hot
And